Hi, hello, happy Sabbath and Shabbat Shalom. I'm starting again in the greenhouse. Not so much because there's a whole lot going on in here, except that the pineapples have decided to start growing again. That is a repotted sprout that I think I accidentally bumped the top off of. But it does look like it's trying to sprout again new leaves from down there. So hopefully that'll become another avocado tree where seed had failed to develop. In here, no significant changes. Up there, no significant changes. Over here, really no significant changes. Mom's bought some more plants. Some of these are all the same you would have seen last time I was in here. Now, moving in here, Mom's been gradually working very little on the aloe vera, but some. So, no significant changes here, really. These ivy vines, not ivory, ivy vines, I cut off the tree because they were in the walkway, and I'm going to try to reroot them downstairs. This piece of geranium is doing pretty badly, and I don't think it's going to last. It's pretty much rotted, and it's dying. It was an attempt. It failed. It didn't root. Now, I'm going to have to, unfortunately, just briefly go inside where there's background music. I'm just going to run in real quick to show you some stuff right up here by the window, and then I'll run right back out. So hopefully it won't get me in any trouble. It's a YouTube stream anyhow. So this is some of the cucumbers we've been getting. This one was hidden from me for a while. It's going to be next year's seeds. These will hopefully be pickles. These are the ones that Mom's eating. Of course, there's that pickled onions again. It's doing its thing. Mom got some more African violets and some more, I don't have no idea what that is. That's Gretel out there in the background. She's in there eating small plants, which is fine. Weed control. So I just want to put these out here where I could make a quick shot of them. This is by no means all the cucumbers that we have picked, just some that we had on hand. Mom likes cucumbers smaller, less mature, and I can understand in a way because they don't get as bitter when they're young and tender. All the babies out here are, well, still out here that I know of. Snowflake over there in the feedlot crying at me. And rototiller right there, and rutabaga staring at me. And then that's that's Daisy, and then Sally, and then Jill. Yes, way underneath there was white oak. And then here we've got Wuzzy and Fuzzy and Mercury, Goldilocks, and Snap, and Fluffy, Waffle Iron. Yes, Fuzzy. Ginger over there trying to get out, and her, yeah. So these are all still here. You're gonna bite my fingers off, aren't you? So anyhow, the fields, we haven't had much rain in the last couple weeks, and the boys have been out here eating a lot on them. There's Mr. O'Malley right there. There's a ladder there in the field because I had to go in there and I had to seal off that hay crib because one of the boys was getting in there and actually he was getting in there and hopping out into this area. Hop into the hay crib and then hop out in the field. So I had to block the field up. But yeah, even though they do eat some of this grass and stuff, it's still producing pretty good. Hopefully it won't be long and my health will be enough. I'll be able to get this all fixed and out. The grapes are still producing. I don't think any of them are turning color yet. Probably will be another month before they do. But, you know, either way. Yeah, it's a Gretel. Good morning. We almost lost this elephant ear because the babies got out. When they did, they bit the top off of it. Hopefully it will go ahead and recover though. I think it should be in good enough shape that it should recover. It's in water right now, so, and it's back in the shade. I had it out in the sun so it would put a new leaf on. Almost had it out too long. This thing hasn't flowered any since we put it out, but the well, this one ain't looking that good. A bit wilted. Other than that, all the others are these are all tame petunias. You can see that one African and violet right through the window there. Yes. Grotto, grotto, grotto. Here's a grotto, grotto. And so yeah, this is the first year this field's ever been all green like this and not wiped out. But it's also because, other than the 2 bucks, really nobody been out on it. In fact, even the 2 bucks haven't been out on it the whole year. So, with it being just Mr. O'Malley and the fact that he's free to go anywhere in the world he wants to, they've thankfully not eaten it down much. So they tore this tree apart here, but that was kind of expected. It's redbud, and they love redbud. It's part of the pea family. So the cucumber, see, it's still got a fruit on here, which I'll pick later, not right now. It's got them all over it. They're just hard to see sometimes, some angles. My potato plant had some blister beetles on it, so I selectively sprinkled some 7 dust on it in hopes of controlling blister beetles. That's technically all one potato plant. They come from one potato anyhow. I'd love to be able to spread it around, but I don't think they transplant very well. Got the live trap up here because there's a raccoon out here. Hadn't seen it in a while though, so I don't know. I should probably still set up the trap. This plant has one nice, fat, healthy tomato, and that's it. The cucumber is now supporting the tomato vine and vice versa. And over here, I've got lots and lots of these yellow cherry tomatoes. Pretty good. It sets fruit like crazy. There's probably 100 fruit on it. But anyhow, so I've got the water running in here because the cucumbers need it. And there's a squash bee. Pretty sure it's a squash bee. Probably not a carpenter bee this late in the year. But anyhow, you need a few bees to pollinate these to make certain we get more cucumbers. There's a fingerling right there. Here's a fingerling right here. I can say lots and lots and lots of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, most of these branches are putting out around 10 tomatoes, 8 to 10 each. So they're not very big, but they ripen fast and they're pretty sweet. Yellow, kind of turn almost orange, golden. Time for me to open up that other hay bale pretty soon. Around here, this plant has, that I can find, 5 fruits. I've turned it since it was last being. There's one down here. There's the newest ones right here, and then there's a cluster of 3 of them right there. So that I know of at the moment, it's got 5. And then over here, buried underneath it, this Roma here, has somewhere around 20, I think. They're hard to keep up with, and they, even though they don't look like they've pollinated, they turn around next thing you know, seemingly little flowers that have already kind of gone and done their thing, turn around and end up putting fruit on them. I'm like, wow, cool, neat. Better late than never, I guess. Down here on our little bell peppers, so far we have exactly 1 fruit. It's about that big. So far, this one had a flower. I accidentally broke off the flower. Wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. Not good, but otherwise we'd have exactly 2 fruit. And kind of like that every now and then. Let they get these kind of spread around just a little bit so they'll get a little more sunlight. It's just kind of the fact that by getting them more divided up, there'll be more sunlight. The strawberries, not getting enough water, I don't think. I watered them pretty good, but they don't seem to be taking very well. I have to give them more water. Part of it is, I think, is because they got too much straw and not enough heavy mass. So their roots are drying out too quick. I'll have to do something about it before they end up dying on me. The surprise lilies came up in 2 waves. One's already done, and another batch is coming up behind it. And for all I know, there might be a 3rd batch come up after that. Let's see if there's any blackberries over here this week. Couple. Kind of shriveled already. And that's probably because they're just lacking water. Sweet. So, this plant's probably going to die soon. I have no idea how old it is. But it was here when I got here, so it's over 15 years. The porcelain berry is starting to ripen. And they will get all kinds of different colors on it. They're way up too high to see very much. Although they're considered edible, they don't taste like much anything. A lot of people don't like them because they don't make much. They're hard, they don't taste like anything and they're hard to pick. At least in any amount. The only thing they're good for is, if anything, is ornamental. But, it's kind of neat. They're not supposed to grow in this area, but Helman showed up somehow, so I've seen them before other places where, in theory, they're not supposed to be native to Arkansas. So, this time of the day, Rose of Sharon's got yesterday's flowers and this morning's flowers on it. The little ones got pretty chopped up by the boys. I gotta get in here and mow probably tomorrow. With the day flowers today aren't out as much. I see a couple over there, but not a lot. There's a day flower right there, but not a lot of them. As it gets hotter and drier, they seem to not like to be out in this weather. Let's see if that one stray weird verbena out in the middle of the field is open or not. It may have gotten too hot and gone dormant again. Let me see here. I don't see it. Oh, I see the plant. Here we go. Like the very, very, very last blossom on there. On that verbena. Oh well. Is what it is. There are some wild petunias down here this morning still. And they seem to be doing alright down here. And the butterflies are seeing them, and so they're pretty happy. They're putting on all sorts of flowers, so there'll be more wild petunias. If anybody wonders why the camera angle is weird, it's because I'm literally holding it just about waist height, because I just got it in my hand, and it's most of the time anyway. More wild petunias. Again, nothing really thick and beautiful, just they're there. And there's those sunflowers up there that are all up and down that hill side. The boys quit eating, so they're coming back. Now, since this is kind of an update, I actually do have an actual update that something happened this week. I went out to mow. I had to make a new throttle retainer here on this mower. While I was in the process of trying to take it and start it, the mower literally broke in half and split the belt. So I had to get a new belt and had to weld the frame together here on both sides. And I know it's an ugly, nasty weld. That's me. And I'm going to probably end up welding it more than that. And I also put another bolt on here because that shook loose. The thing shakes its bolts loose and then it comes all undone. This is the belt that it spit. And this, I think I bought this belt fairly recently. But it, when the thing jumped and fell all apart and all the pieces flew out of it, it spat the belt, killed the motor. At least it didn't damage anything. I got some more free junk this past week from it's hard to tell maybe, but I cleaned the truck. It had a bunch of algae and slime growing on it. Let me see. Alright, all this steel tube right here was a swing set over at one of my friend's places, and then, like, you know, getting rid of it so I can make cucumber trellises out of it for next year going forward. They also have, I got to pick up another refrigerator. I've decided to take all these refrigerators and make raised beds out of them. I got this really nifty, perfectly complete epoxycrete sink tub, which I'll end up using for canning and preparation of food and stuff eventually when I get it set up. I've got two smaller ones that are black colored that are about the same dimension this direction, I think. They make a good set, I'm pretty sure. And then that spill tray, which it's a piece of sheet metal, that's all I can say is that. I mean, it's not like it was specialized anything. It was a spill tray under a water heater probably. I mean, a couple old shocks that are just good for steel bar. I got, you know, metal in them that I can get out of them. That was from the other day at the dumpster where they just a bunch of thin steel with galvanizing on it. So I'll probably take that and zinc, since it's coated in zinc, high percentage of zinc, because I'll probably go in there and acid wash that to get the zinc out of it as zinc chloride. And they threw out another air conditioner. They do that now and then. And another toaster oven. This too. Also, they have another, I think I just mentioned that, but they have another refrigerator for me to haul off. So I'm going to have a bunch of them. Like I say, I'll make full gardens out of just refrigerators at this rate. Oh yeah, and there was a couple little bicycles that I guess somebody grew out of or whatever. Anyhow, so got those bicycles, they'll have parts on them of some kind, bearings, wheels, scrap metal, just usable metal for forming things. So the last thing I'm really going to go and look at this morning is just going to be that blackberry down there to see how it's doing. That's going to be, I'm not going to go out in the field, but I did go out in the field and pull a sample, soil sample from downstairs where I plan on doing some more gardening. It'll be a raised bed that's made out of a dirt berm, and the raised bed will have garlic and onions and maybe even leeks in it. But for sure, I've already got the garlic. I just have to find the right onion slips and set them up proper. So I haven't been down here in a week or so, I don't think. I've watered it a couple times. Hopefully it's doing alright. And again, I put all this mesh on here to keep grasshoppers and stuff out. Yeah, it's got new growth here and new growth here. Hopefully it gets entrenched, gets in there good enough that I can colonize it, propagate it. That's pretty much why it's here. This is where I plan on putting them. That is basically everything. Again, there have been a few cherry plums pop out of the tree and fall on the ground, but they're pretty much too ruined by bug eating by the fruit wasps to be of any value. They're up there. They're not easy to see. They fall on the ground, get squished. There's the seed and the skin here and there. Here's one that hasn't been squished. But it's not really edible because it's got bug bites in it. Something gets out here and possums or something, raccoons, eats them as they fall. Oh well, that's fine. I couldn't harvest them. I'd have to spray them for bugs before I could harvest them. I'm not really in a position to do that. So, unfortunately, the gladiolas have so far decided not to bloom. So there's nothing up that direction to show more plants, but no more flowers. How the plants got there, no idea. Why they're not flowering, I don't know. They flowered twice. One of them flowered twice now since they started showing up, but from what and how, still no clue. Still haven't fixed red or anything, so lots of undone stuff. Hopefully I'll be able to put Gretel in here in that little baby pen, but I have to put an elevated fence around it to keep the big boys out of it first. So that's its own job too. I'm already winded just from walking around. Well, I'm going to call it here, and all I can say is, well, you know, Shabbat Shalom. Hopefully y'all have a wonderful week, and next weekend we'll have another Sabbath report. Nothing really to show, but except worked on that mower, that's about it. And plants. So that'll be it for now. Bye.